Namaste. Khushbu Bitia, myself JV and Dr. Khushbu Verma from Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science. Today we are going to discuss about recombination process, and this session is related to molecular biology course of program MSc Microbiology and MSc Biotechnology second sem. So first of all, you have to know about the recombination. What is the recombination? So two DNA molecules exchange when genetic information means they just exchange their genetic points and genetic related rules, resulting in the production of a new combination of the alleles. This recombination process creates genetic diversity at the level of the genes that reflects the differences in the DNA sequences of different organisms. In eukaryotic cells, which are cells with a nucleus and organelles, recombination typically occurs during meiosis process. In the because meiosis process basically occurs only in germ cell productions, gamete cell productions. During the alignment, the arms of the chromosomes can overlap and temporarily fuse and causing a crossover. Crossover basically results in the recombination and the exchange of genetic material between the maternal and paternal chromosomes. As a result, offspring can have means future generation can have different combinations of gene than their parents. So in the recombination process, new characteristics will be developed due to the recombination process or crossing over process. So recombination can occur both during the mitosis process as well as in the meiosis process. In meiosis process, especially in the eukaryotic cells, genetic recombination involves the pairing of the homologous chromosomes. This may be followed by information exchange between the chromosomes. On the other hand, recombination may also occur during the mitosis process in eukaryotes, where it ordinarily involves the two sister chromosomes formed after chromosomal replication. If we talk about the crossing over during the meiosis 1, because as we know that meiosis 1 is the true meiosis, because meiosis in the meiosis 1 number of chromosome becomes half, and the prophase 1 stage is very long. It is also having sub stages in the prophase stage. So, for making more understand about the crossing over during the meiosis 1 process, here we can see the diagrammatic representation. You can see in the meiosis 1 where prophase 1 have different phases like leptotene, zygote, pachytene, diplotene, and dikinesis. But in these five sub-stages of prophase 1, zygotine, pachytene, and diplotene, these three sub-stages are very much important in the context of crossing over. You can simply see this is maternal chromosome, this is paternal chromosome. So in the zygotine homologous chromosomes, each with two sister chromatids pair to form bivalent. So this structure is known as bivalent, and after the preparation of bivalent, now chromosomes go into the pachytene substage where crossing over happen between the homologous chromosomes. After the crossing over completion, in the diplotene substage, homologous chromosomes separate partially but are held together at chromosomes crossing overs. And after the completion of dikinesis, metaphase 1, anaphase 1 happens, and in the anaphase 1, crossover resolve the allow the homologous chromosome to separate into separate cells. Means here you can simply see this is maternal chromosome, this is paternal chromosome. After the crossing over, both chromosomes are having some portion of each other. So that's why now this chromosome has some new characteristics. So these chromosomes will be separated into daughter cells, uh, and they are having some recombination in two cells of daughter cells. So that's how crossing over happen in the meiosis 1 process. Now, if we talk about the recombination process, that how many types, how many way we can study about the recombination process, and how many patterns can be followed during the recombination process. So again, we can simply see the diagrammatic representation. Here you can see this is the homologous or general chromosomes, where one chromosome is having A plus B plus C plus, and second one is having A minus B minus C minus. Okay, so if homologous or general recombination occurs, so it happens like this portion, like here is the homologous recombination occurs. So this B plus and B C plus exchange with the B minus and C minus. So here comes B minus C minus, here comes B plus C plus. So final product is A plus B minus C minus, and second one is A minus B plus and C plus. Second type of a recombination is non-homologous or illegitimate. So in this recombination process, you can simply see one chromosome is having A, B, and C, and second one is having D, E, F. So after the non-homologous recombination, here will be happen. So you can simply see C exchange with the F. So F comes along with the A and B, and C comes along with the D and E. In the third type of a recombination, which is site specific uh, recombination, here you can see this is the E. coli chromosome, where this region is ATT, and when gamma integrase enzymes come, so it create two ATT portions. That is known as the site specific recombination, because this recombination occurs only in between ATT region. Last one is the replicative recombination, or you can say transposition. So there are many transposable elements which can move, which can transfer time to time from their previous stage or previous place to the another place, new place, or at the new chromosome number or chromosome site, chromosome place. So these kind of elements or these kind of a gene which can change their place, their position, and their location in between the chromosomes, so these elements are known as transposons or transposable elements. So in this kind of a recombination, this is transposable element. When transposes enzyme do their work, so you can simply see this transposable element can be here, or it can be replicated, and it can be moved in between the B and C also. So this is how types of recombinations occur. If we talk about the first of all homologous recombination, so it is a physical phenomenon where exchange of sequences um, occur with no net gain or no loss of nucleotide. It is based on sequence complementarity occurs between sequences that are nearly identical, for example during the meiosis, and homologous chromosomes are involved in this homologous recombination, and homologous recombination is extensively studied in E. coli. At least 25 proteins are involved in the recombination in E. coli. Here you can see diagrammatic representation of homologous recombination. These are the homologous chromosomes, and this one chromosome is having two sister chromatids. Again, this chromosome is having two sister chromatids. These sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes do the crossing over during the prophase 1 stage, and they exchange some of the portion of their sister chromatid with each other. Here you can see the purple region basically belongs to the right side chromosome, but it has been exchanged with the left side sister chromatid, pink color. So this is purple color region has been shifted here, and pink color region has been shifted from this chromosome, this sister chromatid to this sister chromatid. So that's how exchange of the genetic material has been done by recombination in homologous chromosomes, and this process is completely done in homologous chromosomes. That's why we call it homologous recombination. Here again you can simply see in the detail when crossing over happens, like this is one chromosome, and then that is second chromosome, and both are homologous chromosome. And when synapsis occurs during the prophase 1 stage, where by which crossing over happens, so you can simply see like this region is going to shift here and this region is going to shift here. So that's why recombination occurs. And if we talk about the lysogenic cycle, involves in the basically integration of phase into the host chromosome by site specific recombination. So you can simply see this is the phase recombination site and this is bacterial recombination site. Bacteriophage, you know very well what is the bacteriophage, means that virus which attacks on the bacteria is known as bacteriophage. So after the attacking of the virus on bacteria, virus release their genetic material into the bacterial cell. So this is the genetic material of bacteriophage and this is the genetic material of bacteria, host bacteria. And these are the specific sites from where they can exchange their genetic material information. So, but this kind of a recombination, basically integrative recombination, because this site and this site cut with each other, cut by specific enzymes, and this phase genetic material integrate into the host genetic material. So you can simply see now this genetic material is recombinant genetic material of bacteria which is having bacteriophage genetic material also. This complete process is known as site specific recombination. If we talk about the illegitimate or non-homologous recombination, so basically it occurs in regions where no large-scale sequence similarity to apparent. In the next type of a recombination, which is site-specific recombination, as I have already discussed in previous slide, but basically if we talk about in discuss about the site-specific recombination, so it occurs between particular short sequences about 12 to 24 base pair present on otherwise dissimilar parental molecules. And a good example are integration of some bacteriophages such as lambda into a bacterial chromosome and the rearrangement of the immunoglobulin gene in vertebrate animals. Integration of the bacterial, viral, or plasmid DNA takes place. And next one is the replicative recombination, which basically generates a new copy of a segment of the DNA. Many transposable elements use this process of replicative recombination. They replicate their copy and that replicative copy just move from one side to the another side. Next one is the reciprocal recombination. So what is the reciprocal recombination? So in this kind of a recombination, equal exchange of genetic information perform and the process resulting in new DNA molecules that carry genetic information derived from both parental DNA molecule. The number of alleles of each gene remains the same in this products of recombination. Only their arrangement has changed. Gene conversion oblique non-reciprocal recombination. One-way transfer of genetic information resulting in an allele of a gene on one chromosome being changed to the allele on the homologous chromosomes. The number of types of alleles has changed in the product of this recombination and transfer of genetic material from a donor sequence to a highly homologous acceptor sequence. We can understand the genetic conversion by diagrammatic representation. You can simply see this is the one parental chromosome having A plus B plus C, and second one is having A minus B minus and C minus. When gene conversion happens, so basically in the gene conversion, this B plus basically replicates and exchange the B minus from the B plus region. So now this, after the recombination or gene conversion method, final product is A plus B plus C plus and A minus B plus and C minus. If we talk about the classical analysis of the recombination, so in each chromosomes, the genes are arranged in linear series and corresponding groups of genes are exchanged in crossing over. Exchanges are complementary and involve the physical exchange of material, and each exchange event involves only two chromatids, one from each chromosome. In As I have told you already, in homologous recombination we had seen over there that two homologous chromosomes are involved in the recombination method, but the exchange of genetic material happens only one sister chromatid of uh, right side chromosome and one sister chromatid from the left side chromosome. They only exchange their genetic material. So you can simply see from the four sister chromatids, only two sister chromatids will be involved in the recombination process, and meiotic recombination does not occur between sister chromatids, or if it is, so it does not interfere with recombination between the homologs. So, this is the sum up of this session. And if we talk about the key points and important points related to basically recombination, so you have to know that what is uh, homologous recombination, what is site specific recombination, and what is the example of site specific recombination. You have to know about that. And what is the basic difference in between replicative recombination or transposition or site specific recombination. So these are the key points which are very important in the context of competitive exams. And examiner also can give you question with the example like tell the final product, like if they are showing like maternal or paternal chromosomes are having A plus B plus C plus, and second one is A minus B minus C minus, and the final product after the recombination is A plus B minus C minus and A minus B plus or C plus. So what is the type of recombination? So by the giving examples, examiner can ask the type of the recombination. So these are the some key points and important points. And now this is the sum up of this session, and this session is powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University Jaipur. If you have any query, then mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.